Hi and welcome in. This is Lori, and welcome to Bricolage with Paint Girly. And this is the last installment of my Daphne's Diary Journal videos. In this one, I'm going to show you how I'm going to be decorating some of the pages and the cover of at least one. Uh, the others I started. If you've watched the beginning of the series, I decided to try to make 3 journals from one Daphne's Diary magazine, and this is 2014. I keep saying 2024, but it's a 2014 Daphne's Diary, and this is number 5. And so I divided the pages. If you watch the series, just a little bit of an update, and had enough pages from the magazine to do 2 what I consider full journals. And then I only had 2 signatures of the magazine pages for the 3rd journal. And so in that journal, I decided to put in some plain paper to fill it out, which I kind of like. So I went with some naturally, oh, what do they call it? Eco dyed paper, kind of yellow and orange hues, because this one's more of a yellow journal. And you'll see that I put some pink lace here, and I used the yellow paper in the spine, but that's all in I guess that might have been video 1 or 2. And I think I could have stiffened my fabric a little bit, which would be a little more to my liking. But this works just well. And really, you know what? I kind of like those blank pages inside. So now I had mentioned before that I'm making these to put in my giveaway box. And so I think really they're going to turn out really cute in the end. And I think someone might be pleasantly surprised to be the recipient of one of these. But I have learned some things, the old adage, um, oh gosh, it just went out of my head. Well, I'll just say there's a learning curve to everything. You can't know what you don't know if you haven't done something. It'll probably come to me later on in the video. But I've learned some things. I didn't really misguide or mislead anyone, because I've said in my other videos that this is the first time I'm doing this. And so, learning curve, that's it. There's a learning curve for sure. And but that's not the adage. Oh my gosh, that's going to drive me crazy. See, if you don't write things down when you get to be my age, you're just in trouble. So you can see on this one here, I used part of the I used all of the cover, and I put that little piece of lace down the side to kind of hide the way I attached my fabric. So you can check out that video that addresses that. And this one has all Daphne pages. Now, a couple of things that I've learned. I talked about holding out some of my pages, and in the Daphne's Diary, you get these little um, letters that either she has written, or maybe a friend of hers has written, or I guess a viewer, might write in. And I wanted to keep them, and I purposely cut them so that I would save them in sections. But what I didn't realize is that the way that I put them in the book, you really can't read them. Isn't that silly? I didn't think about that. So I've got it right in the center of mine. Now let me see if I can find, there it is. Find the other half of this. There's the other, this is the whole top part of the magazine. Well, you can kind of get the gist of what's being said, but that's annoying to me. I'm way beyond taking it apart. So what I would suggest you do is, if you want to preserve anything in a magazine journal that you want to save the contents and be able to read it completely. I wish I had done it this way. Hindsight is 2020. There you go. That's what I was trying to think of. Now, let me see. These are my little bits that are left over from the diary. And I know I know there were a couple of letters. Here we go. That I didn't use. So what I'm thinking I will do in my next journal like this, or really any journal that you build from a magazine or any kind of other written material that you want to keep intact and use as part of your pages, you can certainly put one in your center fold and be able to read it. But if it's a 2-page thing, this is what I wish I had done. I wish I had put maybe a plain page in the center and then do the story or the letter as a tip-in and glue those down. And this could have been in the center, trim them down and glue them on the center page. And then you could open them up and read the letter. So I'm a little disappointed about that, but I didn't realize, but I've learned. And so it's a good thing to know. I think there was one other thing I wanted to mention, but now it's not coming to me. Okay, so another thing I need to tell myself is make yourself some notes when you're going to do a video. All right, so these are started, and I will finish these up. Oh, yeah, that's what else I wanted to say. See, I pushed the envelope by trying to make 3 journals from the one magazine. And so that did not leave me much in the way of items to then decorate my pages with. And you know what? A lot of these pages I don't think really need much. So there's that. But also in hindsight, I wish that I had left more pages available to cut apart, fussy cut, and use for the inside decorating of the journal. So if you're doing this for yourself, make 1 journal maybe, at the best 2, and then you'll have some extra things to add, pockets and tip outs and fussy cuts and things like that. Just a suggestion, but I'm going to make myself a journal, and that's the way I'm going to do it for me. All right. So now this is the cover, of course, and I showed you in one of the other videos that at the bottom it had that sales stamp thing here with the price tag that I couldn't get off. So I just took a piece of plain blue, which kind of matches the cover, and then attached this little lace butterfly. And of course, that coordinates with the butterfly that's on the front, and there are butterflies and things like that throughout the pages of the journal. So then I wanted to put some kind of decoration down the side. I thought about covering this completely, but I don't want to cover up those letters. And I tried a couple of different things that I had, but because I put this butterfly on and it's so lacy, a lot of stuff just didn't look right to me. It didn't work. But then I found this in my stash, and this is what I'm going to go with. It's just like a little one-sided daisy flower trim. And I don't know that there's a right or wrong side, but it's kind of see-through. It's not real solid, like a piece of ribbon or a piece of fabric that, would flap over. So I'm going to use this. So I'm going to cut myself 2 strips of this, and I'm just going to use my fabric tack to put this down. The other thing I wish I had done, I wish I had, maybe we'll leave a little bit dangled down. I wish I had left my strings from my pamphlet stitches in the centers of my signatures. I wish I had left them longer because I did think about, and I think I probably mentioned wanting to put things on those little strings. But see, I wanted to tie on this button, which I did, but it was fiddly because I left the strings so short. So, I had plenty. I wasn't going to do anything else with that. I could have left a lot more length on there for myself to then embellish. I like things that hang out of journals, out the top, out the side, dangle down the bottom. I just like it. So now I'm going to do a whole lot in these because these are for giveaways, and I would like whoever the winner might be to be able to do their own thing with it, basically. So I'm not going to do a lot. And so hopefully this video is not going to be terribly long. Now you could hot glue that or use any glue that you like that works for you. I like the Fabri-Tac. See, and I'm not great at putting in these stitches and having them look good. And you can see my spacing is off a little bit there. So next time around, I'm going to put my signatures a little closer together. And I just did another journal and I covered the spine with a piece of ribbon. Let me show you that. I just did this little guy and then just covered the spine with ribbon so you don't see the stitches, because I'm just not practiced enough to have that look as neat and tidy as I would like it to look. And there again, I've got some issues with being, having it all be, not perfect, but yeah, pretty close. So you got to take that into consideration. Ouch. Now, I had mentioned too that my channel is getting close to 2,000 subbies. And so I'm starting to think ahead a little bit and putting some things aside for some giveaways. And at least one of these Daphnes will be a giveaway. And then I'm also hoping to have I'm planning to have a show and sell before I load some things into my Etsy shop. And I need to have a couple giveaways for that too. So at least one of these journals will be a giveaway during that little event. So keep an eye on my community tab if you want to know when those things happen. All right, so I love the Daphne magazines. I don't think they need a whole lot of anything personally, but you may want some ideas to decorate, whatever you're working on. And I just love the covers, so I think that's going to be it for this cover, because I think that will be fine for me. Now, when I went to attempt to get my pricing sticker off, I popped a hole in the cover. So in order to take care of that, I wrapped my fabric around, and then I used one of the stickers that came with this magazine. And then I like the whale's tail tabs, so I went ahead and took some of the, I don't know if they call it the negative space, like when you do the punch outs, the leftover bits. I punched out some whale's tail and put one on each signature. I'm not sure if I'm going to punch a hole here and add a little something on some of these. I don't know about that. But like I said, there's not a whole lot I think really needs to be done with some of these. So as I go through and I'm looking at coloring and things that I might like to do. See, this is a really light blue kind of speckled page, and this is kind of plain over here. So I pulled out some stencils that I thought might look cute, and I think I might just do a little light stenciling on some of these pages just to kind of make it pop a little bit. So I'm looking for let me take this here, and I'm going to take a piece of book page and just kind of, yeah, I got pink in there, although I don't know that it really matters. So I'm going to pick out one of my oxides. I just happen to have the Blue Lagoon here, which really is not this color, but some of the spatterings in this opposite page are kind of this color. So I'm just going to do, hopefully, a little light inking here. I want it to be very subtle, and it is. Okay, that looks kind of cute. So I probably will do this throughout on a couple of pages here and there. You know, just a little something. I pulled out my tub of scraps and bits I have here. You know, when I think about folding in and making a little pocket, that could work there. We'll see about that. This, I don't really want to cover up any of that stuff. Although I could put a little something there, couldn't I? I have this cute little, so you have this cute little flower stencil. So it's kind of make it look sort of like the page. And I have this tattered rose in the oxide. Let me get a different little makeup brush. The makeup brush set I got some really crazy little brushes in it. Of course, it's not for art, it's for makeup. So, you know, you got to think about that. Just very subtle, add a little something to this corner. Oh yeah, see, this is good for me. You could add a button if you wanted to. Now I have a couple little flat backs and a couple of things that I pulled out. Now remember, whatever you put in that has any thickness to it is going to, you know, make your book chunkier. Just put a few little things in here. It's just okay. I can think about that. Somewhere back on my work, here we go. I put this for another project. I've had this forever. But see, I've got it here in this magazine. So I don't know if I might do a little bookmark, but I see I've got that in the back of my mind too, of how I might incorporate a piece of that. Now this page I did fold in half, made a little pocket here, so I need something to put in there. And like I said, I don't know really that I have a whole lot left from the magazine. Now this one, when I purchased this magazine, it was, you know, someone else that owned it and loved it before me. So I think I'm just going to take some of the stickers that came in with the magazine and pop those in here. I just put a little piece of tissue paper that you can either write on or glue and add some things on, and just a little piece of fabric. So that'll work there. This one I folded in half, and this is going to need a tag of some kind. I made this a little pocket, and then I'll have the tag part stick out. So I'll take probably a piece of file folder and cut that to size and then decorate it just minimally and pop it in there. This one I think needs a little something. I'm not quite sure what to do with these. These were the cutouts for this particular magazine, and they're hot air balloons. So you can break them in half there, and then the other half, somehow there's a top part that fits down in, and it makes it look like a hot air balloon. Let's see if we can figure that out. Let's get all these little bits here. These are all stickers. Here's another one. They're very pretty. See if I can figure out which two go together. So that one's a different shape, isn't it? More stickers. Yeah, we definitely next time around leave myself more of the magazine to cut apart. Now I know some folks have said that they couldn't cut them apart, and I totally get that. They're a beautiful, beautiful magazine. Oh, here's a recipe card. And certainly it's not for everyone. I have 4, and I know I can purchase another one if I want to. So I just decided, okay, those two go together. And I'm not sure, the coloring's kind of off on that one. See, and sometimes you get these little tags that she has in here. I don't know if this one had, well, the stickers are different than what some of her, but like again, this magazine was from 2014. So I think what you do is you just pop this apart, and this pops the top, and they slide together to make a little hot air balloon. But I'm wondering if I fold it, should get this stuff out of your way. I'm wondering if I fold it, if there's some way I can make it a little, maybe that's silly. And it's got real rough edges, like, you know, when something's perforated. Not crazy about that. Like, I understand why they'd have to do that. But see, I would sand that all off. I don't want that I don't want that look in my book. I know. That's probably being a little too anal. But hey, anal is what anal does. I can't help it. If I can do it, why not do it? And then, of course, then this gets scratchy because you're wearing off some of that paper. Now, what did I do with my... I did put some stuff away. I'm wondering if this could be a little pocket. You know, let's see, there it is. I have my inker, and then I need my little blending tool, which of course Looks like that's MIA. Gosh, I don't really have allergies, but oh, there it is. I'm wondering if maybe I've got some allergy stuff going on today. My eyes are a little weepy. Now, I could take in a pair of scissors around, I guess, and trim that off. But you know what? I'm not that good at that. So I just used an emery board. We all have things that work better for us than might work for other folks, right? All right, so this one's really, I had trouble punching it, because they've got to make it sturdy enough so when the magazine is traveling to and from the stores or in the mail or whatever, they've got to make these punch outs in the magazine strong enough to stay put, but then they have to also be easy enough for the recipient to be able to punch out so I did use scissors on a couple of them because I just couldn't get them to punch. I'm challenged, that's for sure. Okay. Now I have another stencil here. It's got the word vintage. I was thinking maybe I'd put the word vintage down right here. Okay, now I pulled the paper that's filled with other stuff. I want to put something down underneath here because I just want the vintage. I don't want this other word on part of my magazine page. And I'm going to do this in the vintage photo. Okay, that looks kind of cool. I don't know if you can see that. Vintage. And let's put this back together. I don't want anything white to pop out and look out of place, because once you start to glue it down, you're done. You can't, it's hard to get it inked. It's hard to get it inked. I think I'm going to glue this top part together here. I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac because this just really sticks pretty well for me. So just a little dot there and line it up. I'm lining it up. Now, of course, in every magazine, her punch outs are different. So it just depends. This issue was, I'm pretty sure these are, maybe they're supposed to be eggs. I don't know. I think this was supposed to be hot air balloons. I'm going to put another little dot right at the top here. And then at the bottom, because ultimately what's happening is it's going to be a little pocket in my mind. I put a little too much glue on the bottom of that one. Then I'm going to flip it over and put glue on this part here that's open. This may turn out not to be a great idea. We'll see. Queensware, huh? I don't think I've ever heard of Queensware. And then I'm going to glue it down. And I'll have a pocket here and a pocket over here. Now, I don't know what someone would do. You know, some of the things in the magazine don't really make sense to me. But you know what? I don't have that great of an imagination all the time either. So I know a lot of people are into doing just little small vignettes and little rooms and stuff like that. Me, not so much. So maybe if you had a Barbie playhouse or something, you'd want to have a little vignette. Now here's just a little tag that came in the magazine. This again has the little I don't know what it's like a you know, like a bread knife. You know how they have those little teeth? It's got like little teeth. Let's see if this works. I'm not sure if it will. And it doesn't mean if you make little pockets, doesn't mean you have to have everything full, especially if you're making the diary or journal for yourself. You know, you can fill it up with all kinds of stuff whenever. See? So now I need a little something with that. Now, I was talking about in one of my lives probably about if you've got lace that comes like this and it's all curly and gathered and you think, oh, what in the world would I use that for? That's me. You can take that off and that lace will become flat. And then you can use this yummy stuff it's stitched onto for a tag. So I'm just going to fold. This is a real soft, fine netting kind of fabric. I just love it. I wouldn't mind being able to find a whole wheel of that. I don't know if that's a lace industry thing or... Now, some of it's real hard and scratchy, and I do use that, but this stuff is the bomb. Okay. I'm just going to slip that in there. Hope my page can, you know, go and work like it should. Okay, so this is another flip out that I did. I need a little something here to cover that staple. I do have my glue gun plugged in, so I want a little bit of something. Maybe just a little piece of lace. And I just did one sheet of paper here that someone could make little notes. Again, I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac. And so this is how I'm going to go through the whole magazine. Some pages I might just add a piece of fabric. Now that's going to be fiddly because I put a lot of glue there and the lace is kind of an open. But I've got this stuff here from a sticker. I'm going to just pop that in there so I can close it and move on, and then I can come back and take that apart. So now I'm in my second signature. See, now here on the magazine, she's got a little piece of tape with this recipe. So I'm going to put a piece of tinkle tape there. And all I got to do is be able to peel it off. I need to make some more. So this is just cellophane tape that you get, you know, that you would say wrap a birthday present or Christmas present with. And I use the clear, not the frosted, although I guess you could do the frosted. I think the clear looks more authentic, you know, when you get an old recipe and it's not coming off. I guess I could heat this, it would probably come off better. Let me do that. And then you just use some of your I want it bigger. Some of your alcohol ink that looks like, you know, yellow water. You know, something that would look aged. I'm going to add some extra glue because that's been on that acetate for a while. And that had some other stuff it picked up off of the acetate, which I'm cool with that. It just, you know, takes it up a little, takes it up a notch. Now I know there was somewhere in one of them, anyway, I put some fabric. Okay, so here I put, if you were with me the other day when I did the snippet roll stuff, I took off a piece of my snippet roll and just added it on top of, there were advertisements here in the magazine, which I didn't particularly care for. So I just took a piece of my snippet tape that I made and put that on. Left a little bit hanging out the top and the bottom. Let's see here. I don't know why they were kind of glued together. So, and then, you know, you'll find different things that you'll want to put here, there, and everywhere. Pretty roses. I mean, just the border around the pictures are just so yummy. See, maybe a little piece of lace, or if you had a little bit of fabric that kind of looked like that, which I don't know that I do, but let's just see real quick. I'll just look real quick. I'm trying to keep these videos a reasonable length of time, and I think I'm just about at that place where I'm going to get ready to wrap this up for you. What's that? Oh, that's a little too green, I think. I don't think I have a whole lot of, this is more like a sea green to me, or a light sage. I'm not really seeing anything that's going to work there. I think that might be a little too dark. How about a little piece of this? Oh my, I didn't realize that was all in there. How about we just take a little piece of lace, and I'm going to take my tiny attacher, and I'm going to attach a piece of lace here, right down the side of the page. I'm going to let a little bit hang off the bottom. I reach for my tiny attacher, and I'm going to staple it where the smooth side is on this page. Make sure I don't put 2 pages together. And the bumps of the staple, the bottom of the staple, is going to be up in the lace. I'm going to put it up in the lace. And this staple's pretty flat, which is nice. So then I'm going to come back and get that little flat back I had. Did I throw it back in here, I hope? Yes. Yes, I did. Now, how sweet is that? Come on. Come on. Who wouldn't want to open up a journal page and see that? I mean, come on. I'm just going to put that on with a little bit of hot glue. See, and then I don't have those bumpity bumps. Oh, I didn't plug it in. I mean, it's plugged in. I didn't turn it on. I think it was on and I turned it off. Ay, 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 ay. Okay, so I'm going to do that. And then maybe a little something on this page. How about a little butterfly? A little butterfly that coordinates with the coloring of the page. Let's see if I can get this little dude separated from his acetate. Oh my gosh, that was a little too easy. Oh geez, it flipped back down. I can't see the... I should put my other glasses on. If I scream, it's because I put the pen right through my finger. No, I'm not going to do it. If you're watching, Ange, don't worry. Don't worry. Hey, you little stinker. A little stinker. So we'll put that little butterfly right there. See, it doesn't take much. Look, it's just a little sticker. The page is already so beautiful, is it not? Come on. I could ink the edge, you know, if I wanted to. Over here, you could pin things. You could pin charms, you know, little bulb pin or something. So that's basically it. I mean, on one of these pages, I thought it was this book. See, I'm going to make a pocket here. And I thought I had just a little strip of fabric running across the page. And it just looks darling. It's just a little bit. I thought it was up towards the front. And it was gray, so it really just kind of blends in with the page. Well, it doesn't really matter. So I did put a button on the bottom here, and I've still got all these different strings. You don't have to have something on every string. But I did want to put, I have a little piece of, yeah, on one of my little lacy kind of trims, I've got several of these little flowers. So I'm going to hot glue one of those on one of my signature threads. Now you can decide if you want it, you know, hanging out the bottom or if you want it up in your book. I think I want it on the bottom. So I'm going to fold this in half, I think, just to give it more to stick to, you know, stick to. And then when that hot glue gun heats up, I'm going to glue that little flower, a little lace flower right on there. And that's going to dangle out the bottom of my book as well. So I think that's it for this video and for this series. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a few things and maybe got inspired to go ahead and take apart a magazine. Oh, that's the other thing. I'm going to make a flag to go in the journal and stick out the top. But it's been about 45 minutes, so I'm not going to keep you any longer. Thanks for joining me for the series. It's been fun. I've learned a lot. If you have any questions, let me know. If you've got friends who enjoy Daphne's Diary, if you can share this video series for me, that would just be fabulous. I would just be very appreciative of that. So until I see you next time, either on a live or another video, I just would like for you to take time to be creative and to enjoy the journey. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.